Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Mr. Silver. Today I want to give you a video spotlight on a game called H-Hour Worlds Elite. It's being developed by Soft Studios, and most of you are probably asking, who's Soft Studios? I've never even heard of them. Well, that's because they were created in 2011 by three guys from Ohio. They were founded with one mission: to create and publish innovative and engaging video games that entertain and inspire their players. But the studio has a higher purpose. Soft Studios is committed to donating time, infrastructure, and revenues annually to veterans and youth outreach programs. What could be cooler than that? Helping out our troops, helping out the kids. So, the real scoop on these guys, from personal experience, is that I can say without a doubt that these guys are legit. These guys are so inspiring to be around, and they have a passion for the project. And they definitely bring out the best in everybody around them. Without a doubt, that's the reason why David Sears came to work for him. I mean, David Sears left Ubisoft and found a home at Soft Studios. And some of you are probably asking who David Sears is. Well, let me explain that. In 2002, he created SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. I like to call him the mastermind behind SOCOM. This game was groundbreaking for console shooters. I mean, they released a headset with the game. It was broadband connectivity. They had custom communities. It was fresh. It was the best thing to hit the market. A year later, we released SOCOM 2. And this game is widely considered, SOCOM 2 is widely considered the standard by which all other SOCOMs, and for a lot of people, all their shooters are even measured. The relevance to this game, to H-Hour, is that David Sears describes H-Hour as the spiritual successor to SOCOM. I'll go into that more later, but David worked on Project Sense, gaining years of experience and meeting some of the best people in the industry. He's pulled together a team of top talent and began working on what would become H-Hour. So what exactly is H-Hour? Well, it's a hybrid game. It's a third-person shooter / first-person shooter. It's being developed currently on PC. They got a Kickstarter program going. They're trying to raise the funding so they can create the demo. Once they do that, they'll be able to get real funding from the community of investors that are out there looking for fun video games. From that point, they get that funding. It'll take them 5 months to create the game. They create that game. It'll give them a beta. At that point, the people that are investing in Kickstarter up to a certain level, beta access. First chance to get at the tweaks. First chance to get in and tell them what they think. Make it more personalized. Make it the way they want it. Finishing the beta process, boom, go into production. Go into hashing everything out, finishing out, polishing everything up. First, it's going to be released on PC for sure. It's also going to be released on PS4. They got to get the funding, depending on what level of funding they get, it'll either be released on PS4 immediately, same day, or if they need to get a little more funding, we're not really sure. But the moral of the story is they're releasing it on PS4, and it's going to be right around the same time as it comes on PC. My impression is that it's going to be ported to the PS4 a lot faster than most people think. You compare the PS4 to the PS3 having the cell technology that apparently was a pain in the ass to port for. A lot of companies had problems. Games like Skyrim, their download content wouldn't come out on. I mean, it was a year before that stuff came out, just because it was hard to port for. PS4 is not going to have that problem. So, from everything I'm hearing, it's gonna be coming out right around the same time as the PC release. So the meat and potatoes of what's in the game. Mentioned before, it's a third-person, first-person hybrid shooter. You're going to have the ability to switch back and forth as your situation warrants. If you need to look around the corner, see what's coming, see what the situation's like around the corner, you'll be able to do that. If you're up in some brush, you need to look through. First-person view is going to give you a better look. If you're looking through a window, if you're looking through a crack in the wall, first-person view is going to give you an unobstructed view of exactly what's ahead of you. So they're also working with advanced ballistic modeling, trying to make sure that the bullet flight, the bullet characteristics are right, the recoil, everything is going to be on par with where it needs to be. They're working with manufacturers of the guns to get the guns right. They're also working with special forces operators to get the mechanics of reloads, mag changes. You've seen some games are cartoony, some games are a little more on point. This one's going to be on point. They're also using motion capture to make sure that the character movement is as legit as possible. The design of the environment is said to be very visually stunning, and that it's going to be visually on par with the AAA games. It's going to be released as a multiplayer, and they will be adding a single player campaign through the DLC process. It's going to have a lobby system, and the lobby system for most SOCOM players, they'll know is the heart and soul of the game. It's the place where you build your community. Uh, we've been asking for this since SOCOM 2, since any other game came out trying to compete on the market. We've been saying lobby system, and nobody listens. SOCOM 4 really departed from that, went to the matchmaker. They followed the Call of Duty lineup. Even Battlefield has servers, which in some way or shape or form is a lobby type system, because you can pick and choose where you want to go. It's not just a matchmaker. The lobby system, or where the game was really focused around. You could build your clan, take over a server, play in that server consistently. You knew who your friends and enemies were. You knew who the clans in the server you got along with were. You knew who you wanted to battle. If you were looking for a hardcore game, you knew who the top clans were. You found them out. You found their rooms. You went in. It was a bare knuckle fight to the end every time. If you had some clan stuff you needed to work on, you went to a casual room, or a room that you knew the competition wasn't exactly like there just to be hardcore. Conversely, the matchmaking system just doesn't offer that. I mean, it's a crapshoot. Every time you hit the start button, you're rolling the dice and saying, well, am I going to play with some punk thugs today, or am I going to play with some kids screaming on the mic? I mean, you don't have any choice. You don't have any opportunity to pick and choose who you play with. It's just, the lobby system to me is one of the most pivotal parts of this game. You're going to be able to create custom games, invite your friends. You're going to customize your character. You can get whatever look you want. You'll be able to stand out if you want to be, I don't know, the yellow Gordon's fisherman, or if you want to blend in. I mean, if you want to be all camoed out, you're going to be able to pick that. And from what they've said, there's going to be a huge amount of customization of your character look. You're also going to be able to customize your taunts. I'm sure most of you that played SOCOM would remember you could taunt over dead bodies. I mean, you could do the Macarena, do the jig, do a backflip. I mean, possibilities were great. Tie them together, switch them around. Nothing better than dancing on a guy you just owned, but nothing worse than, what is it, round 11, tiebreaker rounds. You're the last guy alive, and then he kills you, and he's dancing on your body. I mean, there's nothing worse than that feeling. So, to give you a quick rundown of some of the actual features in the game, you can go to sofstudios.com. They've got full details, everything else you need. This was just kind of a broad overview, but there are so many features that are specific to this game, that have been community oriented, that have been asked for by the people, by the people that have been asking for this game for years. You can look for the post by David Dr. Boom Sears, where he responds to these posts. He's been responding to people for the next 24 days. His goal, his focus is to make sure everybody's informed about this game. And this is where I'm coming in right now to you. It's time to get real, ladies and gentlemen. H-Hour needs your support. They're doing a Kickstarter campaign. They've got to go through the Kickstarter campaign to get their demo funded. They're trying to reach $200,000 by July 7th. That's a Sunday, July 7th. Now, it sounds like a lot of money, but it's not. If you don't believe me, check out some of the other projects on Kickstarter. I mean, seriously, check them out. Games specifically. A lot of games are looking at $700,000, $900,000, $1.1 million for a game. This game, $200,000. They're not a huge studio. They're a small, tight-knit group of people that are the best at what they're doing, and they're getting it done at a really good deal, at a really good price. They're cutting the cost. They don't have the corporate overhead. They don't have the bigwigs to pay for. They don't have the company advertising to pay for. They're just knocking it out to create the best game they can create. When you look at these other games that have been on Kickstarter, $4 million. Some of these other games have been getting clay animation type games. $200,000 really isn't that much money. And the way they're going to get it is by the swag that they're offering. You can get a digital copy of the game for $15. You can get the game plus the first DLC for $25. You can get the game plus the first DLC plus a t-shirt for $60. It's going to be a custom H-Hour t-shirt. You can get the game plus all the DLC for 2 years for $75. Okay, so let's break that down. $75, you get the game and all the DLC for 2 years. Let's look at the competitive games on the market right now. Game, $60. DLC, $60. and this is all DLC. So if there's weapon packs, I mean, if there's other perks, if there's other character customizations, $75. I mean, you're looking at $75 versus what the other companies are charging $120. It's your chance to get in on this stuff, get it at a great price, and help the studio. If you're wanting to step it up, $1,000. Get your face in the game. You will live in infamy. This game's going to be around for years. You could get your face in the game. For $2,500, you could get a studio visit. Imagine going back to the days of SOCOM 1. Imagine spending a week in the studio with David back then. Well, now's your chance to do it. So, for those of us that are part of the SOCOM fan base, I've got to say one thing. It would be embarrassing to let this fail. This has been what we've been asking for years, and it's time to step up to the plate. It's being offered. They have David Sears, the creator of SOCOM 1 and 2. What else could you ask for? I mean, seriously. $15 gets you a copy of the game. When it's released, it's going to be $60. What are you waiting for? Personally, I went big, but everybody needs to donate at their own level, their own capability. We're not asking you to break the bank. We just need some help here. Well, not me. I'm not working for the studios, but I care about this. The stuff, it's the next big thing. I mean, it's where it's at. So, for now, thank you to Eradicator for my intro. Appreciate it. Mr. Gold at Gold Knows for the exit video. Music to finish this video out is a custom track by Eriq Troi. You can download it for free now at the link. It's called Soldiers of Integrity. Thanks, guys.